What is up, guys? And in today's video we are going to be predicting every single NBA free agent using SpotRack. Link is in the description below. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright. There's a few that if I'm not 100% confident on my answer, I will come back and pick these are my predictions, not what I know based on anything. Alright. LeBron James and the Lakers. So for these, so say it's a player or a club means team option. You can click exercise or decline. Exercise means you accept. And then, for example, say the Hawks declined, then you can click any one of these logos and drop them into any one of these boxes. So let's start. And now let's cut to the chase because I've been yapping for a minute already. Alright. LeBron James, I think he will stick with the Los Angeles Lakers next year. I don't really see a world where he goes to anywhere else, honestly. Because there's not a lot of teams with that much cap space open. And then, if I'm Zach LaVine, yeah, I'm taking the $49 million. And then if I'm James Harden, Cavs probably don't want me, but I want them. So I'm taking the offer. Actually, Cavs probably do want Harden. Never mind. And then CJ has already accepted with the Atlanta Hawks, so we can just add that already because we know that. Chris Middleton, that's an interesting one. For now, I'm going to put Miami. I might change that later. I think Miami is a good fit for him. I think Kristaps going to stay with Golden State, but if the Lakers really, really want him, I could see a world where the Lakers get Kristaps. But I'm going to say he stays in Golden State for right now. All right, Andrew Wiggins, he's exercising his player option for sure. All right, Tobias Harris from the Pistons. There's a lot of good options that he can go to. As of right, you can go on without putting. I'm not gonna put one for Tobias Harris yet. I'll come back to that. Fred VanVleet. If I'm Fred, you gotta take it. You gotta take the 25 mil. All right, Anthony Simons. I really feel like Anthony Simons works good in the Heat. I don't know if it's videos on YouTube, but he really is a great fit. He's got the shooting. He was very good on Boston before he was traded to Chicago. So I think Miami is definitely going to surround Giannis and Bam with some shooters, especially some shooters off the bench. So we'll get to that later. All right, Draymond Green accepts his player option. John Collins. This is a very interesting one. He can shoot the three. And this is what I was talking about. He needs some players that can shoot the three, stretch the floor off the bench. I think Miami will also go out and get John Collins this free agency. Jonathan Kuminga, the team is not taking $24.3 million on Jonathan Kuminga, but I do think they will still bring him back on a more team-friendly deal. Nikola Vucevic, this is a very interesting one. If the Celtics aren't really able to get a center, I could see him staying, but for now, I'm not going to put one just yet. Norman Powell, Detroit need a second option, and rumor has it that Norman Powell isn't re-signing with the Heat. Alright, Harrison Barnes, makes no sense not to stay in San Antonio. Colin Sexton, there's so many decent options. I think Houston would be a good one, but I'm going to say he stays in Chicago right now. Yusuf Nurkic, no reason to leave Utah. You're in a great role right now in Utah. And depending if they're able to bring back Walker Kessler, you could be starting on the team because you were starting when he was injured. So, yeah. And then Zach Collins. There's like a couple options here. I think Zach Collins will stay with the Bulls here. I wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee gave him a decently good contract because right now he was on an $18 million contract last year. Not worth it at all. Yeah, Bogdan's not getting that, but I think he will still get re-signed with the Clippers, but on maybe like a $3 million deal max. Probably like a 2.4 or 2.5 to 2.4 to 2.6, anywhere between probably $2.5 million deal though. Rui, it makes no sense to leave the Lakers unless you're feeling bad because they didn't play you in the final minute of that Thunder game where they ended up losing by 4, and they were down by, I think, 2 points, and they didn't put their best 3-point shooter in. That was still weird, but yeah, I think he still will reach out with the Lakers. All right, Lu Dort. Shea wants to keep Lu Dort, so you got to keep him happy, but you can't give him $17.7 million. I feel like that's just too much for Lou. I think he stays with OKC, though, but on a much more friendly deal. Kevin Huerter. This is another interesting one. I'll get back to it. All right, let's go. Mitchell Robinson. Don't ever think it. He's staying with New York. If you don't want to win a championship and you want to go get the bag, do whatever you want. Honestly, I don't care at this point. But he's staying with the Knicks, 100%. No doubt in my mind. Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk's probably not going to stay with the Spurs, but I'm not going to pick the Spurs yet because I'm not 100% sure. Matisse. Robert Williams. Sorry, my bad. Robert Williams is going to the Lakers. They need a center. That's probably the best center they can get if they're not able to get Kristaps, or if they're not able to do a sign and trade with Jalen Duren or Walker Kessler. That's their best option. Matisse Thybulle. I think Matisse is going to stay with the Trailblazers. He's been there for a while, so I think it's only right to stay with Portland. Gabe Vincent. Man. You see, I think he's going to stay with the Hawks, but I'm not too sure. But I think he's going to probably stay with the Hawks for sure. All right, Luke Kennard. Pretty obvious that's going to be the Lakers. Maxi Kleber. He's not a restricted free agent. He might just stay in free agency at this point. I don't think really anybody wants him. I'm going to say, I'm not going to pick a team yet. Mo Wagner, he's definitely staying with the Magic. I don't see a reason to leave. The way Brook Lopez has been playing, if you don't take the options, another team's definitely going to snag him before you. So I think the Clippers should more than want to exercise that deal. Wait, didn't he have like a 40-point game in the season? Something crazy like that with like 8 threes or something? Or maybe I'm just making that up or something. There's no way the 76ers choke both of these players. I mean, I can see them losing Quentin Grimes, but you gotta bring Quentin Grimes back. He's got a lot of potential. Sure, he's not the best that he's been in the past, but he's still very decent for a role player that he is, and Kelly Oubre just makes sense. I don't think he's going to leave the 76ers for a while. Then DeAndre, why you guys give him player option, bro? He's taking the player option for $8.1 million. Simon Fontecchio. Man. I think he'll stay with the Heat. More than likely. Hold on. I'm seeing if I missed anything that I wasn't fully ready to do yet. Okay. Never mind. I'm good. Alright. Kevon Looney. It makes sense to go back to Golden State, even though I don't think he will. He's not going back to the Pelicans. You know what? Why not? He's going back to Golden State. Igor Demon. He's a restricted free agent, so the Nets will be able to keep him, and Benedict Matherin's also a restricted free agent, so the Clippers will keep him. Pretty straightforward there. I don't think the Thunder are going to be able to bring back Kenrich Williams. I think they're going to decline that. I think they'll pick up. I think the Nets will pick up Zaire Williams, but decline Day'Ron Sharpe, and then still be able to bring back Day'Ron Sharpe in like a $5 million deal. I'll come back to Kenrich Williams. Dean Wade is definitely staying with the Cavs. Jet Howard. I think Jet Howard's going to stay with the Magic. Honestly. I could see him on the Bucks, honestly, and pairing back up with Gary Harris. Alright, Nicholas Batum. You don't pay him $6 million, even though it is Nicholas Batum. But you still get him back on, like a $3 million deal, something like that. Yabusele. There's a lot of interesting places that Yabusele can go. I'm not going to pick yet, but Bradley Beal's going to keep his player option. If he can get money, he's going to do it. He's not going to get a better option than that, so he might as well. Alright, Ousmane Dieng. Bucks are going to bring him back. If I'm Marcus Smart, I might decline and just ask for more or a bigger deal. But if he declines it, they're gonna give him like a $6 million deal per year for like a 3-year deal. If he does end up declining, either way, he'll be back on the Lakers. All right, Nick Richards. I think Nick Richards is gonna stay with Chicago. Andre Drummond is a very interesting one. He should more than likely resign with Philly. I think that's a great fit for him. So yeah, I'll say that. Detroit. I'm not giving up on Jalen Duren yet. He might have had one bad playoff stretch, but he still made an All-NBA appearance. So, I think if you don't do him in a sign-and trade for, Jaylen Brown, there's nothing good enough that you can trade him for. Cause I don't think trading him for a $107 or $108 million, $106 million, no, it was $108 million Austin Reeves deal, would be worth it, honestly, because you're losing your big man. Who are you going to have to play your big man? You just lost Isaiah Stewart. You have to sign someone else in free agency. So I'm keeping Jalen Duren. He's only 22 years old. Yeah. All right, Aaron Holiday. I literally cannot see a world where he is not on the Rockets anymore. Like, it feels impossible for him not to be on the Rockets anymore. Ochi Apacha. I think he'll stay with Brooklyn. He's played on a lot of teams recently, but he's a restricted free agent, so he should go back to Brooklyn. Same thing with Tari Eason. He's going to go back there as well. Dwight Powell, yeah, I don't even know if he's going to return to any team. Kevin Love's an interesting one. I'm going to say he's going to go back to Cleveland for his final 2 seasons. I think he retires in another 1 to 2 seasons. All right, Nick Clifford, he's definitely staying with the Kings. If I'm the Kings, I'm bringing him back at all cost. He's a great young player. Dennis Jenkins. Dude, you're getting Dennis Jenkins on a $4 million deal. If you don't take it, I don't know what you're going to do. Take the option, Detroit. Jace Richardson. I'm keeping him if I'm Orlando. Gary Trent already declined his player option. And I think he might go back to Toronto, but I don't really know what his role would be there. I'm going to skip Gary Harris for now. We'll go to Kyle Lowry. All right, so we go to Kyle Lowry. He's going to stay with Philly, 100%. I don't see a world where he doesn't retire with Philly. All right, Jordan Clarkson. I think he goes back to the Knicks. I think he goes back on a minimum, though. I'm pretty sure he took a minimum last year. He should take a minimum this year. Gary Trent, yeah, he's not leaving Toronto. I feel like Toronto's been his home for so long. I don't see where he leaves. Tim Hardaway, I easily see a place where he leaves Denver because they need to go out there and get Peyton Watson. Then a great fit would be, I don't know where a good fit would be. Lakers, Dallas could offer, Golden State could offer, Clippers could offer, Hornets could really offer him a deal. A lot of teams could offer him a deal. I'm going to skip Tim Hardaway for now. Will finish every single one during this video, though. Joe Ingles, he goes back to Minnesota. Doug McDermott is going back to Sacramento. More than likely, he's going on like a minimum, probably like a 1.27 mil or whatever the minimum is. Jeff Green, yeah, he's going back to Houston. There's no other place he's going. Larry Nance, same thing with you. You're going back to Cleveland. Bismack Biyombo, back to San Antonio. DeAndre Jordan's the most interesting one here. He looked like he was having fun a lot of times in New Orleans, but I just can't see a world where he stays. I think a good and likely option here. Hold on. Who starts at the Sun Center? Come on, Malawatch? Yeah. Okay. I'll come back to that. I'll think of every team. I'll come back to DeAndre Jordan. Taurean Prince, he's going to decline and he's not going to go to Milwaukee. I don't know where he's going to go, but he doesn't want to play in Milwaukee. He's going to decline. So, Patrick Baldwin, he's a two-way player, and he's restricted, so he's going to end up back on Sacramento. Jackson Hayes is a great backup center for the Lakers, especially if they want to do a swap with DeAndre Ayton and flip him for like some picks or something if his value is even worth the pick. But yeah, Dominique Barlow's got to come back for the 76ers. Russ, is it crazy to say that the Hornets need a point guard? I think Russ is going to go to the Hornets. That makes a lot of sense. She got enough cap space to go get him now. Because, what would he probably asked for like around 20 mil. So I don't think it's crazy to say Russ is going to go to Charlotte. Walker Kessler, he's restricted, but I don't think he wants to play in Utah a lot. So it's either going to be a sign and trade to him to the Lakers, or he stays in Utah. I think he's going to stay in Utah. Gary Payton, there's no reason to leave Golden State. Thomas Bryant, definitely. I mean, he's played on a different team every year. He's probably not going to resign with the Cavs. I don't know what team would use him, but yeah. Anthony Melton, I think, is going to exercise. Or he'll decline and get a better option somewhere else, but I think it's more than likely he will take his player option and go play with the Warriors. But if he declines it, I think the Warriors can give him like a $4.5 million deal. But I think 3.5 is definitely the sweet spot for Anthony Melton, so I think he should definitely take it. Denver's going to get back to a David Roddy. Warzone Beauchamp, definitely going to go back to Philly. I mean, he's played on, what, 2-3 teams now? I think 3, right? 2, whatever. Alright, Bruce Brown, he's definitely going to return to Denver. Josh Okogie. There's, like, a couple options he can go. I think he's going to return to Houston, though. I think Landry Shamet staying with the Knicks. I know all the second apron stuff that's been going on. I think Landry Shamet, a $3 million deal is perfectly fine for Landry Shamet. 3.5 mil, something like that is perfectly fine. If you can get Jordan Clarkson back in the minimum, do that. Try to give Mitchell Robinson a team-friendly deal. He will be back with all these 3. I'm very confident in that. Marvin Bagley, after the year he had, Dallas should definitely keep him. Drew Eubanks, bro's only 29. I thought he was like 38 or 34. Yeah, he just kind of looks old. I don't know where he's going to go. Not yet, at least. Dude, if the Spurs got to keep Julian Champagnie. If they don't, dude, that's a $3 million deal for Julian Champagnie. He's 25. Or he's almost 25. Yeah, he's 25. Right? Didn't he just turn... no, never mind, I'm getting sidetracked. Wow. Wendell Moore. I forgot he was a two-way. But yeah, Detroit's going to bring him back on a two-way. Jordan McLaughlin. Definitely going to return to San Antonio, I think. Wouldn't be surprised if there are some other places I think he can go. Javonte Green. Why do I feel like he's going to go to the Rockets? I'm pretty sure he's also already played on the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he's going to go to the Rockets. Me personally. It's either Detroit or Houston. Amir Coffey. Man, it still feels so weird that he's on the Suns and not on the Clippers anymore. So I don't know yet. But Thanasis, Milwaukee. I mean, Giannis isn't there anymore. I don't think they're gonna care what team offers him. I think Miami's gonna offer him. Oh, not Amir Coffey, but Thanasis. I think Thanasis is gonna go to Miami to team up with his brother. Ariel 40. Welcome back to the Knicks, buddy. Peyton Watson. Now this is the thing I'm talking about. Denver re-signs Peyton Watson. Seth Curry, he's easily going back to the Warriors. Jason Tate, Anthony Gill. I mean, Jason Tate, he's going to be a Rocket forever, I feel like. Anthony Gill, I don't know where he's going to go. He's 34, so not sure there. They should definitely, I think they're going to take Trent Watford's here. Sandro Mamu Casafili should definitely take the player option. That's a little bit too much for Pat Connaughton. Josh Minott, that's a good deal for Josh Minott. I'd take it. And Pat Connaughton, I think we'll stay on the Hornets, but on a different deal. That's cheaper. Bones. The Grizzlies can't lose Bones. So, or not the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves. The Spurs and Lenny Waters. Lenny Waters has been all over the place at this point. Wouldn't be surprised if he went to the Trailblazers or the Suns. But Jock Landale, I think he's going to go back to the Hawks. Precious Achiuwa, man, I miss him as a Knick, but it's fine. I don't think he's going to go back to the Knicks, honestly. I don't think he's going to go back to Sacramento either. I'll come back. Neemias Queta. Exercise that option, Boston. He was great. Xavier Tillman. If he doesn't retire, he's going back to Charlotte. Blake Wesley. He's on the Trailblazers right now. I don't know where the heck he's going to go. I honestly thought he was in free agency for the long... He was in free agency, wasn't he? Oh, no, he was part of the De'Aaron Fox, Zach Collins, and Zach LaVine trade. So, yeah. Keaton Wallace definitely going to go back to the Hawks. I'm not taking that if I'm Indiana. You know what? You're Indiana, take a horrible contract. I'm declining because I have to be reasonable. Yeah, Grizzlies, you got to take G.G. Jackson's offer there. Bryce McGowens, I feel like he's going to go to the Kings. I feel like he's going to go from bad to worse. I really have a strong feeling Bryce McGowens is going to go to the Kings. All right, I don't know if you can get Jalen Pickett more. I think that's definitely maybe a little bit too expensive, but I think a team would definitely try to offer him a little bit more. I'd take it if I'm Denver. Honestly, I'd try to flip it. Jamal Shed, I'm pretty sure he already re-signed with Toronto, but if he didn't, he's going back to Toronto. Jonathan Mogbo, take it. Take it. That's a cheaper deal than Jalen Pickett. That's definitely a steal. Julian Phillips, I don't know. But Boston definitely should take Jordan Walsh. I think the Bucks are just going to try to get as many people still under contract, so I think they'll take DeAndre Jackson. I think the Timberwolves will let Julian Phillips walk. Honestly, I don't know how much upside he's got. Trace Jackson, I mean, yeah, Raptors should probably take it, especially if they're trying to move off of Jakob Poeltl's contract. Jakob Poeltl. Right, I forgot Rain Rupert was a two-way player, but he's going to go back to Memphis. Killian Hayes is not going back to Sacramento on a $3 million deal. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because it's Sacramento, but Keon Ellis. Man, do we think he's going to go back to the Kings? I think he's going to go back to Cleveland. And then if I'm Brooklyn, I'm taking Jalen Wilson. He's probably my favorite player on Brooklyn. Oh, he definitely is. So yeah, I'd keep him if I'm Brooklyn. Jameer Watkins. You know, keep the offer. I'd do it. What the heck? Why is there two Jameer Watkins? Alright, Jordan Miller. I think you gotta take all of the offers that for a team. Actually, you don't have to take him on a $2.6 million. I don't think he does, but I still think he'll stay on the Suns. Bro, Grizzlies already kept. I don't know why there's two of this. Jamal Cain, man, the way he played in the playoffs, it was very good. I'm bringing him back. You know what, Boston? I don't care what you do. I don't think he's going to stay there, honestly. But I think Boston's going to find a way to bring him back without having to take the $2.8 million deal there. Did Dalen Terry even play for Philly? I know he was traded for like maybe 2 picks or something. Because I don't know what the Pelicans gave up. He didn't play out for either team. He was traded to the Pelicans for Jose Alvarado. So, yeah. Keyshawn Johnson is oh, no, not Boston. Keyshawn Johnson is definitely going back to Miami. J.D. Davidson, I'm not taking. I'd take the Amari Williams and Kobe Sanders and Nick Smith Jr. deals, but I'm definitely taking Ryan Nembhard, and I'm not taking Jameer Young's contract. Actually, yeah, I will. But Talolu Smith is definitely going to stay with the Pistons. All right, Quentin Post is definitely staying with the Warriors. Max Shugla, sure. I don't really know for him. Javon Carter's definitely an interesting one. How many teams has he played for? He's played for a lot of teams, I'm pretty sure. Brandon Williams, man. He's my favorite player in Dallas. Yeah, that's Brandon Williams is my favorite player in Dallas. Yeah, I know that's crazy. I don't know where he's going to go. I feel like the Cavs. I don't know why I feel like the Cavs. Maybe because when I did a 2K simulation from free agency, he went to the Cavs, but I don't really know where he's going to go yet, so I'll skip that. All right, Mike Conley. Dude, you got to retire in Minnesota. You got traded twice. Went back to Minnesota. Yeah. All right, honestly, keep all their deals. All right, Mason Plumlee, I think he's definitely staying with the Spurs. Cameron Thomas, he isn't really even in the league right now, so I don't know. Kyle Anderson, I don't think he comes back to Minnesota, honestly. I think Kyle Anderson's going to go to the Lakers. Pat Spencer, I think, will go back to Golden State. Tyus Jones. I'd let Tyus Jones walk if I'm Denver. I don't know where he'd go. Jeremy Shohan. I don't know where he's going to go either. I like him. Knicks are my favorite team. Don't know if they'll be able to bring him back, though. Because of they're trying to stay under the luxury cap. So I don't think they're going to be able to bring back Jeremy Shohan. I think Denver... Oh, no, not Tyus Jones. Spencer Jones. All these, like, two-way deals are definitely going to get finished for every single team here. There's not a world where another team gets any of them. Alright, next we got AJ Lawson. Yeah, you can go back to Toronto. Tony Bradley. I don't know. Charles Bassey. I feel like Charles Bassey's going to go to the 76ers. And remember, I don't have to click every single player that I think, because some players might not get back on contracts. And Tony Bradley might be one of them, honestly. I'm not going to fill up pretty much everyone. Yep, we got another row of two-way, where all of them will stay the same. Okay, the rest of the people were all of that. So we're just not even going to fill out all of them. We're just going to go with Yuki Kawamura because he's the only restricted free agent down here. So Yuki, I think he's going to go back to the Bulls. Alright, now let's fill out the other guys I couldn't comprehend at first. There's only a few guys. Okay. Now, one of them was Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, good shooting big man. He can probably play the three with Miami. I would not be surprised if Miami went out and got him. Miami gets Tobias Harris. Miami needs a lot of players, so you know, I've thought about it enough. Boston keeps Vucevic, which probably I shouldn't do, but I'm doing it anyway. Kevin Huerter. I don't think he's going to go back to the Hawks. I feel like the Pelicans are going to offer him some contract, so I think he'd take it. Kelly Olynyk, he keeps going to so many different teams. I think the Trailblazers. Maxi Kleber, I don't have to pick one for him, even though I think he probably will get signed by some team, and that some team I'm going Sacramento. Kendrick Williams, I feel like he's going to go to the Spurs and have a good game when he plays against the Thunder. I have that feeling. If he doesn't re-sign. Yabusele, I think Yabusele is going to go to Dallas. Alright, Dwight Powell. There's not really a team unless they're very desperate for good picks or anything. Go on, Dwight Powell. Go to Brooklyn. All right. Gary Trent, yeah. His time in Milwaukee's over. His time in Toronto's been over. Gary Trent, welcome to the Washington Wizards. It's either going to be Washington or I can see it being Portland. I can see it being Sacramento. I could see the Pelicans. I could see the Nets. I can see him going back to the Raptors, honestly. Tim Hardaway Jr. There's so many teams that can throw him a good offer. I think it'll be the Hornets. I think the Hornets, I think their second one that they've gotten. DeAndre Jordan. I think he'll team up with Kevin Durant in Houston right now. I feel like that's the way they're going because they're starting center Alperen Sengun. He can be a good bench, good center off the bench, other than Clint Capella. I think that'll work out good. And Taurean Prince. I think Taurean Prince is going to go to the Trailblazers. Anyone else we've missed? Thomas Bryant. He's going to definitely go to a different team. I have a feeling that team's going to be the Clippers. All right, Drew Eubanks. Yeah, the Kings are going to offer him a contract for sure. Amir Coffey. Clippers, I feel like, could offer him again. I think it'll be the Trailblazers. All right. Oh, Anthony Gill. Yeah, I don't know. For Anthony Gill. I don't think the Wizards will offer him back. But, you know what? I think it'll be the Jazz try to offer Anthony Gill. And then we got Lindy Waters. You know what? Lindy Waters, I'm going to go Memphis. Precious Achiuwa. And I'm going to try to see how many I can get right. And at the end of free agency, we'll look at it and see how many we got right. Or that I got right. Alright. And you guys can also look too. I'll leave the link in the description. Precious Achiuwa, Sacramento is not going to get him anymore. And I think he's going to leave for Phoenix. Blake Wesley, pack your bags. You're not going anywhere. Stay in Portland. Yeah, Indiana's going to keep Mike Capata. I'm fairly confident in that. Minnesota, you know what? They might as well just exercise it at this point. Killian Hayes. I'm just going to keep him in free agency. I don't think a team wants him right now. Dalen Terry. I think he'll go back to the Bulls. J.D. Davidson was on the Lakers. I don't really... Oh, 2.5 points per game. I just realized they got the stats down here too. I was looking at the age before, but J.D. Davidson, man, he went to a different team last year. I think the Bucks are probably willingly offer him. All right, Javon Carter and Brandon Williams. Javon Carter, welcome back to Orlando. Brandon Williams, welcome to a great team to be a backup point guard for the Detroit Pistons. That I feel like Brandon Williams in Detroit would be good. All right, Cameron Thomas, I think he'll stay there. Tyus Jones, I feel like Dallas will go back and get him. Jeremy Shohan, I feel like there's definitely a team that'll go out and get Jeremy Shohan, and I think that team is gonna be the Boston Celtics. Tony Bradley. Let's just throw Tony Bradley back to the Pacers. Why not? And then here's all the two-way guys. Kevin McCullough. You know what? Kevin McCullough. I'll just throw the Knicks guys back their contract real quick. And then we'll call it wraps. Alright. Unless it's anybody I missed. Cam Thomas. No. He's not going to. I don't think. Neither with Killian Hayes. Alright, yeah. That's it. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.